On this episode of the Layover Live, Shelley Fitzgerald stops by to talk about Summit 2022. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 178 of the Layover Live. I'm Jason Swick, VP of Strategy and Insights at Simpleview, and welcome to this week's show. Now, as many of you most likely know, Simpleview has a big event coming up just around the corner, the Simpleview Summit 2022, which we like to call the best summit yet. And it's happening April 10th through the 13th in Phoenix, Arizona, once again. Now, I don't want to brag, but we have lined up more than 50 sessions of valuable case studies, product information training, and industry-specific panel discussions for you to indulge in. Not to mention incredible keynote speakers, and as always, a killer closing party, but we're going to touch on that a little bit later. Now, Simpleview Summit is one of the biggest events in the industry, and since we have been on hiatus for about 2 years now due to the pandemic, we are returning back and better than ever before. Now, not many people might not know this, but our very first summit was back in 2006, and at that time, we only had 15 employees, 54 clients, and 10 sponsors in attendance. And it's wild to even think that back then we didn't even have the iPhone, which is crazy to think about, right? But just as the industry has evolved, so has Summit to meet the changing landscape, trends, and needs of our clients. To give you an idea, our last summit in 2019, we had 182 employees, 668 clients, and 42 sponsors in attendance. Now talk about some serious growth. That's crazy to think about. So to tell us what to expect in 2022, here's my good friend, Shelley Fitzgerald, aka the queen of all things Summit. So Shelley, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm happy to have you here. We have our new set. We're trying some new things out. We're breaking it in today.
Looks great.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And let's just jump right into it. So maybe I think for those folks, because it's been a couple of years, we've been off a little bit. Let's give a quick overview about what to expect at this year's summit.
Okay. So as you mentioned, it's April 10th through the 13th at the Sheraton in downtown Phoenix. So same hotel as we were in 2019, except that it's gone through a huge renovation. So it's almost like a brand new hotel. We have our pre-conference sessions on Sunday and Monday, and then we open with a great keynote, Judy Holler, on Monday afternoon, and then tons of sessions and, summit fun.
Yeah, all the usual stuff, right?
Correct.
I love the pre-conference stuff too, right? Because it gives us a chance to take deeper dives into things, peel some layers back, do more of a workshop style. We know Aaron and I are doing one on KPIs, so check that out. It's kind of an extension of one we did a while back at Esto, and so it's a really, really, really good chance for you to engage with our teams and really take things to the next level. So I want to talk about this next piece as far as attendance goes, right? Because it is a pretty large event historically. Are we expecting a lot of returning colleagues? We're expecting a lot of new folks to attend. There's a lot that's changed the landscape. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to guarantee that there are going to be a ton of friendly faces at Summit. So some of them are going to be veterans to Summit, old hat, they've been there before. They can tell you, where to go and what to do. But like crazy enough, this year, over 50% of our attendees are going to be first timers. And so if you are a first timer, welcome. We can't wait to meet you and see you in Phoenix. And we're happy to show you around and introduce ourselves. Our staff can't wait to see you. But if you're a veteran, again, welcome back. We have missed seeing you, and feel free to show a newcomer around. Sometimes it can seem a little overwhelming, so you can help a buddy out.
Yeah, I love that, and we will have certainly a lot of new folks there, right? So it's a lot of new folks that haven't been to Summit before, or even new to the industry with everything that's happened during the pandemic. So definitely those folks that have been there before, it's a great way to kind of buddy up and show them what to expect. So let's dive into this session, because things are a little bit different this year in terms of our approach. This is kind of the first year in which some of the sessions feature, thought leaders, not only at Simpleview, but in the DMO space as well, really focusing on a lot of industry-specific issues and ideas that are coming about. So I want to talk about that. Maybe, Shelley, give us a little overview about some of those sessions with the thought leaders.
Yeah, definitely. So to start off, for meetings and events, we have Shimo and team from the Two Synergize team, amazing group of individuals there. They're going to do some pre-summit workshops on a sales data connection seminar. And then also general sessions. So, if you're meeting in sales, definitely keep an eye out for those. David Peacock and, his amazing insights on community and stakeholder. We're going to have some data-centered surveys results, and he's also going to be talking about some really important topics: sustainability, DEI, community alignment, and also visitor centers. There's a new path for those, and so some discussions about those. We have some great panelists on some of these for some of these topics. Monterey County and Sedona will be talking about their sustainability efforts. And then Green Bay and Gulf Shores are going to be talking about some of the things that they've been doing with their visitor centers. And then we have Toronto and Long Island that are doing great things with community alignment. And then Oklahoma City is going to come in and talk about some EDI issues as well.
So great. So a little bit of everything for everyone across the industry, right? From digital marketing to technology to things that are important in the industry as it relates to destination management and everything in between. So that's a really good overview. Now, I'm not afraid of a shameless plug because I want to talk about the layover session a little bit too, because I think that's going to be an important one. We're doing kind of a town hall open forum type discussion as kind of a follow-up to our State of Digital Marketing survey, which hit probably many of your inboxes. We'd really appreciate you filling that out. This gives a chance to collect industry information, which we're going to be sharing at Summit, and then following that up with a report that follows the event. And so please, if you have a chance to do that, come join our session. We're going to have a big open discussion. We encourage you to be there. It's going to be very dynamic and interactive. So thanks for sharing that too, Shelley. But I had to get a plug in there.
Obviously.
Right? Of course, right? Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask some questions because one of the biggest things that always comes up, and I know I've asked you this probably 10 times already, is what does the closing party look like, right? And so, looking at that, what can all of us expect at this closing party? You gonna let us know?
In a word?
Yeah.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. That's all I get.
That's all you get?
Okay, unforgettable. So it'll be exactly how it's been in years past. So listen, come check it out. Go to simpleviewsummit.com. It's got all the information in there, schedules, pre-conference information, a little bit of something for everybody. So Shelley, thanks for coming by and talking about that.
Yeah, no problem. Great being here and enjoying the new studio.
Yes, breaking it in for us. So thank you very much. And if you're not subscribed, please do so now. We're also available on Spotify and iTunes through audio podcasts. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.